Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me, Morphsuit America, and in this video it's gonna be a bit different. Now, if you're not into anime, then I'll advise you guys not to watch this. But if you are, then if you guys been paying attention to the recent anime sets to come in the year 2018, Overlord Season 2 is coming out, and actually it got released a few days ago, question mark. So what I'm gonna do for this video is react to it. And yes, this is a new spin off of things, but new spin off of things. My English, great English. No, this is just a new little thing I want to experiment with, because later on when I do get a decent laptop and better Wi-Fi, question mark, I will try to stream. I'll try to do live streams of me watching certain animes you guys might recommend. But yeah, when it comes to Overlord though, it's one of my favorite animes, and not only that, I read the light novel to this, and it is very long and descriptive, and I think I already read it like 3 times already. So yeah, it's something I like going back to. If you guys don't know about Overlord, then I'll recommend you guys to look up the manga, read the light novel, or, see Overlord Season 1. Pretty much what the light novel has and what the anime is doing, it kind of goes hand in hand, except, like, there are a few details that are left out, because, when it comes to an anime, you can't really explain everything of certain. Yeah, you can't explain everything here and there. But from what I've read, there's a good amount of stuff that goes hand in hand with the anime and the light novel and the manga to an extent. So I will be talking about the differences maybe later on, question mark, but it should be obvious. So yeah, if I decide to give my opinions about like the stuff that I've read compared to what the anime is showing, then I'm gonna do that at the end of this video. Note that when it comes to my commentary, I don't like it when I don't like to speak when the anime is actually playing. So most likely what I'm going to do is pause at a certain part and then give you guys my commentary about it, and then at the very end of this I'll wrap it up, because me trying to give you guys commentary when you guys need to focus on what's going on yeah, what's going on. um it's like multitasking. If you're not great at multitasking or listening to two people at once, then that's going to be an issue. And once again, this is going to be a new thing. And if you guys want to see this, just type it up on Google. So let's get started. Anyways, so my thoughts about this entire episode, it's great. It introduces new characters or some themes here and there. It shows us what Iron still has to tackle. Kind of left. It continues off from where we last left off in season 1, and yeah, they're showing us like the next segue to whatever is to come. And of course, they're gonna leave us in the dark until they kind of disclose why they're doing various things, which is a good way to get people hooked into the anime. And if you haven't seen Overlord Season 1, I highly recommend you guys to do so, because from this first episode, it does not give you guys fillers, recapping on everything that happened from last season. No, it goes right into the meat of things and is still pushing onwards. So, props to them. Now, what I'm going to do from here on out is go into details about these various scenes that caught my attention throughout the episode. And if you guys don't want to actually listen to my little spiel on it, then you can close out, and I thank you guys for at least viewing this video and also watching it with me. Yeah, I know this is a new thing, and hopefully I can do more of this, question mark. I don't know. If you guys like it, then kind of hit that like button so I can figure out if you guys want me to do so. But anyways, let's go into the details and my thoughts about these various key things. And I know that since I'm using the light novel as a reference to my comparisons and to my analysis right now, I'm going to state this. I know that the anime cannot do everything that the light novel does, and there will be spin off here and there and some stuff that's not actually in the books, which is fine because it's its own medium. And I know that there's a guy that actually talks about the two, and I know I shouldn't really be comparing it because different mediums and different sort of adaptations and stuff. So I'm not going to be that critical when it comes to the fact that this isn't what happened in the light novel and stuff. No, I'm just pointing out some of the differences here and there. And depending on your taste, depending on my taste, whichever medium succeeds in, pleasuring us, go with it. But yeah. Alright, so when it comes to the intro scene, I can't remember if they actually talked about these characters in the light novel. I feel like they did place it somewhere in the prologue, but I can't remember when exactly. But yeah, like the fact that they are introducing these unknown characters that are pretty strong is an eye raiser because I'm like, I don't remember this. Or I guess I did skip over some of the prologue stuff, but like I said, I don't think the prologue right after like the fight with Chaltier. I apologize with my pronunciation because I know I suck at pronunciation, but the fight with the vampire, I don't remember this scene kicking in right away. The prologue in the light novel kind of introduces the lizard people and talks about the why the outsider the outsider was actually called an outsider and why he actually left his village to gain knowledge. I'll talk about that when I get to that scene. However, with this scene here, obviously we know about that guy that is starting the conversation. This guy over here, because he was in season 1 of Overlord. He was with that group that got attacked by Chartier. The new character in this scene, however, is the chick over on the right hand side, and apparently she is very, very strong and she's very, very cocky because of what she says here and there. Now, I'm surprised that she actually has a Rubik's Cube because, that's from our world, and the fact that they have an item from our world is puzzling. That can lead to a bunch of implications, which I'm not going to state right now, but most likely it could be from players from Yggdrasil. Now, once again, if you haven't seen season 1 of Overlord, you may not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright, so the next scene that I'm gonna highlight is this scene here where this girl states that she wants to be defeated for once and she doesn't care if this person is human or not human. She just wants someone to beat her up, and if it's a guy, most likely she's gonna fall in love with him. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be in a lovey-dovey sense like Albedo with Ainz, and once again, I apologize with my pronunciation, but yeah, she doesn't care. As long as she can bear the child of that strong being in her. So I'm raising an eyebrow to this because it's amusing more than it's confusing. If you read the light novel, there are times where Ainz is quite popular. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to dive into what I'm trying to say because once again, this is going to give away to like the plot of this, so I'm gonna leave it there. Alright, so with this scene, I also raised an eyebrow, but this was more on my on confusion because once again, I don't remember this being in the light novel, but I might need to read it again. It might have been in later chapters compared to like what was it? I think shoot. Like the light novel book number 3 kind of covered everything from season 1 and then it continues off in book 4, but I might be wrong in that. I need to check. It's been a long while since I actually read the light novels, but yeah, the fact that they're showing this dragon and the fact that this dragon knows about Yggdrasil is is a bit troublesome because how does he know about Yggdrasil? How does he know about the two different worlds? Did he actually come from Yggdrasil? And most likely this dragon is actually in the northwest area, above the shoot, what was that one faction? I can't remember if it was the Empire or the other people. But yeah, they're in the northwest section of the world, or like of the map that Ainz was able to obtain with the demi-humans and stuff. And the fact that this dragon decided to, play it off with the armor and pretend like he was a human is a bit of an eye raiser as well. Now, I don't know this woman. She's giving me a bunch of question marks above my head. Once again, it might have been in the prologue stuff, and I might have skimmed over it, or I haven't looked at it in great details. But most likely, I'm gonna have to recheck my facts or recheck the light novel so I can
で、
figure out X,
君
Y,
は
and
今
Z.
冒険者をやっている。
役目はインベまあ仲間たち
But
も
yeah, the fact that the dragon is strong and how she's acknowledging him as a strong being, that is a bit troublesome. But the fact that Shaltier was able to dent the armor and the dragon stating that this may be an issue because that vampire was not on the good alignment is is hinting at like the change of events. Some things coming and it may not be good, and aka that kind of hints at Ainz and his faction
わか
coming
ら
into
ない
the picture.
な。わからないな。
Okay, so with that scene in particular, you don't see that sort of engagement back in season one, unless it was a very small clip of it that I missed. But I did rewatch the season one Overlord anime like 3 times, so I don't remember that scene. The fact that he did engage against Chaltier is a bit brave, courageous, but the fact that his armor is dented from that sort of engagement shows how powerful she is. That is why the dragon acknowledges, the strong forces that is coming, and it's not a good thing because, you know, if they're on the side of evil, then most likely they're gonna fuck the world over, or they will create chaos within this world. And that what? Yeah, actually, I can't say that. I can't say that. That's a spoiler. So the fact that the dragon is being wise about this and he acknowledges the fact that he's not that strong anymore is a good thing. But this also hints at like he has to be very wary about all these new factors coming in. That's why he asked for that certain list and also asked for items in Udrigso. Once again, kind of repeating myself. How does he know about Udrigso? Because Udrigso is the other fantasy world that Ainz used to be in. Was he actually from Udrigso? Does the light novel actually explain this? No, not really, because there's a lot of stuff that actually happens in the light novel, which I would not tell you guys because that's spoilers, and until we actually see it in the anime, then I won't tell you guys about said spoilers. Now let's continue on.
若いのにやったよ
あれは人の域を超えるアイテムだよ。下手なものに渡ってほしくはないんだが。そうか。君が判断したことであるならば、それでいいのだろうね。今年こそ奴らを撃退し、そのままの足で帝国に攻め込む番だろう。
まったくですな。いい加減帝国の侵攻を防ぐだけの戦争には飽き飽きしてきました。
帝国
So I'll pause it there. One, the reason why I actually played that little scene is because I didn't realize that the strongest warrior had the ring. And I don't know what that ring does. If they explained it in the light novel, then I kind of skimmed over it, I guess. But the fact that they're kind of talking about this item and the fact that she gave it away to someone she really trusted, then I'm guessing that this item is very strong in some unique way. Secondly, the reason why I actually stop around this scene is because these guys are actually fighting against the Empire, and later on you kind of got the premise to why this is actually important because of the positioning of where Momon, the adventurer, is actually working at. But this will play a key role later on if the anime follows what the light novel is kind of has. And once again, going back to my previous statement, if they do change it up, I'll give you guys my opinions when it comes when it gets to that. Okay, I know I'm gonna butcher her name and the pronunciation, but I'm just gonna call it the princess and her knight climb. Now, these two characters are supposed to show up a bit later when it comes to my reference to the light novel. However, once again, this is the anime, and if they want to do this, then kind of get the feel for it. And yeah, I really can't say much about this scene in particular. It's just like, an introduction to a bunch of characters because we already seen like a couple new characters in the beginning of this episode, along with the dragon and that old adventurer, and now these two new important individuals, and they are key characters for later. But since we haven't seen much of them in action, I can't really say much. Although I gotta say that their designs are pretty straightforward and they do have the same sort of design that the light novel picture kind of showcase here and there with their little biography profile sketch. So, yeah, not a huge surprise about these two. If I remember correctly, is she young? I think she's like 16 years old or something, and then Climb is the same age? Question mark. Oh god, I need to read that light novel again, but I don't want to do a binge reading because that's gonna kill me. I had to binge read a Kakami Got Killed recently, so I don't know if I'm up for it. So, anyways, yeah, can't really disclose much because they haven't done much, and if I do disclose something right now, it's spoilers, and once again, I'm trying to avoid that. All right, so kind of skipping ahead and talking about the map and Ainz laying out the lay out the plans and getting an analysis on what's going on right now. The scene with the hamburger stuff got me hungry, but other than that, the fact that they're making a dummy Nazarick is to throw people off, and it will come into play later on, obviously. Now, when it comes to this, I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this damn kingdom. Riestas? Oh, God. How do I pronounce it? Ainz, pronounce it for me. Riestes, okay. Yeah, Riestes is where Gustav's at. Gustav being the warrior protecting the king, where the princess is at, and where Climb is at. And Sebas is there to obtain information and to figure out what's going on and, do whatever he needs to do. Reconnaissance mentioned because ignorance is bliss. You don't want to be ignorant in a new world where a bunch of enemies can actually kick your ass because you don't know what the fuck is going on. So, with that being said, on the other side of the mountain, it's the Empire. This is important. The Empire opposes the kingdom on the western side, and they are at war with each other. Iranto, where Momon's stationed at, is in the middle of these two factions. So Iranto is a key location for obvious reason. It's the only way to go to and from on foot to these two empires or two factions. You could technically go through the mountains or the forest, but obviously you're gonna have to fight a bunch of creatures and you don't want to do that, and if someone decides to lay ambush to you, that's gonna be it's not gonna be a good thing. And you could try to fly over there, but I don't think they have advanced technology to do so. They could get a bunch of dragon riders and go over past the mountains, but I don't think the humans actually have dragons under their control. Question mark. But not only Iranto is Iranto. Once again, I apologize if my pronunciation is like a key point. Nazarick is nearby, so they need to be careful because if they explore or if they find Nazarick, it's gonna be people will try to invade their home and most likely try to do something with Nazarick. To the very south, as you can see, the slain theocracy is down there, and they attack the village. Now, this is where demi-humans are, and this is where the dragons are, and I think two of the characters we saw in the beginning are in that area. And then the Holy Kingdom, which we haven't seen yet. Do not confuse the Holy Kingdom with the slain theocracy. Anyways, with Chaltier, yeah, she's drunk and she is sad at the fact that she did a grave sin to Ainz, and it's to be, one, careless, and two, fight against her supreme one, her supreme creator. So, that's why she is in this what is it, in this bar, and she's just trying to drink up her sorrows away, but it's not working. And what Albedo suggests, which was to punish Chaltier for, doing this, will most likely lift her burdens and return her back to normal. And it does make sense if you think about it. Like, if they are extremely loyal to you and they don't get some sort of punishment because they did something really stupid and they regret it, then of course their guilt is going to continue to eat away at them, and it's going to eat away their soul. But other than that, I can't really discuss on this part here. He's planning something. Not gonna say what. I kind of know what he's gonna do. But for the rest of you guys, just wait for the upcoming episode. Now, when it comes to this scene in particular, they introduced two more characters into Overlord. Now, I don't know if the future episodes will actually explain why this guy actually became an outsider, but most likely I got a feeling that it will. And it will also go into a bit of history about him. However, they're not going to dive too deep into the lore because, one, there's a lot of details talking about like what's going on with the different tribes, and also what is it? There's a lot of details talking about the lizard people. Obviously, when it comes to the anime, they will cover the key points of these things and to why the outsider actually became the outsider and what actually made him go outside in the world and gain information and knowledge and stuff. You'll understand that in future episodes because they will most likely cover the key points. But if you want to know about the specific things when it comes to these lizard people, then yeah. I'll say read the light novel for it, or the manga, question mark. I don't remember if the manga actually dives too deep into their history, but if it does, then that's something for you guys to watch. Yeah, and as you can see, guess who sent that little warning? If you guys can't guess it, then I'm not going to say it until later on, because most likely the plans are going to be revealed. And then when it comes to the end song, apparently I think the same group of people who did that also did the same stuff for Tanya's. So, thumbs up to that. But that concludes this video, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys like this new sort of thing that I'm doing. If not, then, I don't know, I might try to stream it, question mark. We'll see. But yeah, let me know, kind of click on that like so I can figure out if you guys want me to do more of this stuff, or give me your opinions about the episode. If you actually watched it along with me, then yay. Hopefully I got you guys hooked into Overlord. If it's not your thing, then I can understand why it's not your thing, but the action and all that good stuff for an RPG sort of game will kick in later on, and it will build up. So, once it gets to the climax, you guys can be like, yeah! And if you have read the light novel, once again, you will know what's gonna happen later on. I know that the anime just got released, or like episode 1 got released, and you can't really say much about it just yet. Once again, it's a great intro though for season 2 if you've seen season 1, and it does introduce a bunch of new characters that might give you a bunch of questions like, who are they? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna mess up our main characters and all that good shabazz? So yeah, I'm not gonna give you guys a full opinion about the anime in general, but if you guys want me to talk about the light novel, then I can give you guys a heads up about that. But just know that if I do talk about the light novel, it's going to be a bunch of spoilers because it's way ahead. It's like, if I'm right, season 2 will kind of cover a good 3 to 4 volumes of what the light novel has, and most likely it's going to talk more about Climb. It's going to go much into the lizard people for like a good couple episodes. It's going to talk about Sebastian, what he's doing and what he's going to deal with, and etc, etc. So yeah, anyways, I've been delaying the end part, so I'll see you guys around. Peace.